New car requested. Weather status. 19.7 Celsius in air with 22.8 around the track. Wind from east-northeast at 5.4 meters per second. 3,501. Welcome to Francorchamps Racing, in Belgium. 1 minute 31. Checkered flag for practice. Tires.
Alright, well I did about 15 minutes of practice before this, and I think I can manage to be semi-competitive as long as we don't get killed in the opening lap. It's always fun to race against the likes of Alexander Spets there at the top. I'm sure I won't even see him in this race, but I have good confidence he's probably using the exact setup that I am, so there's no excuses. I kind of like being a lower rated driver in a top split rather than being a higher rated driver in a second split. Just because my upside is much higher here. And I don't tend to run away with anything even in those second splits. There's usually some pretty fast drivers, so. New spot is pretty awesome, but I'm still getting used to it a little bit. And this P1 dock setup is a little bit more understeery than I am used to them putting out, so I haven't touched it just because I feel like if they can do a 219 something something with it and a 220.5 in race pace, then it's time to focus on the driver, not the setup. So let's get a good exit.
Green light.
And just try to do a decent lap here. Exit. Usually terrible in La Source. I always like it when Eau Rouge is flat. It's a little bit of a confidence thing to do it, but car's perfectly capable. A little bit off in that sector. But the lap's pretty good right now, so. Understeer. Not a great middle part of the lap here. I just want to get a banker in though. Don't want to risk an off track. Not bad. 21.
P6 now.
Let's see if we can find a little bit more time.
P7.
It always throws me. It hits the rev limiter just for an instant, but it's not quite at the shift point at the top there. Much better through there. Tires are just a little bit better right now. Not as much understeer.
You're moving down to P8 now. Weather has changed. Track temp dropped up to 23.3 degrees Celsius in the last 6 minutes. We are heading for P6 here.
Man. Spa is just hard track to get it all right.
That's it for qualification.
Yeah, I'll never complain about doing a B lap on a quali.
Good stuff. New best. 2 minutes, 21.6.
It's always hard to tell. Are these 10 drivers just getting 1Xs? Or are they all saying, yeah, not doing Eau Rouge side by side at the start? Definitely a lot of offs. 8 incidents in quali for the second to lowest high rated driver. Oh. Alright, well, ninth. Not terrible, but there's probably going to be some fast drivers coming from behind. Christian and Mark.
Tires.
Now we pray.
100 seconds to gridding ends.
10 laps. I've got the inside here to La Source, which is hopefully good. They changed the way the car launches, and then they made the variants a little bit less wide, it sounds like, in the latest patch. But I still have basically not practiced launches, so I'm still doing what I did before the patch, and the last time I did it, it worked. It wasn't super fast, but the only thing I don't want to do is light up the rears and then just get totally swamped. At the start, so. And I want to get single file early out of La Source so that I'm not trying to deal with anybody going too wide into Eau Rouge. Even if that means lifting, I will still do it. Because I'd rather live than get killed in the first couple of corners.
"15 seconds remaining."
And otherwise, let's just have fun.
10 seconds.
The worst that can happen is I lose a 100 rating and go back down
5
below 3K.
seconds.
Who cares?
Focus now. Green flag.
Alright, got a good launch. Here comes the
Left
people
behind.
trying to
Still
kill
on
you.
And clear. Going left side behind.
Chaos behind, as expected. That's why you tried to qualify near the front. Almost an ideal start for me, I am. Going to lift just slightly. Got an off-track and a slowdown. Oh no!
The courier has a slowdown.
Me and the car ahead have slowdowns. Ah, I'm sorry.
Position 9.
Sorry.
Okay, that was really lucky. The people behind were so far back that we were able to bleed our slowdowns off without really losing a position. That's amazing. Disappointed I did exactly what I said I wasn't going to do, but oh well. Now let's just try to focus in here and drive a good race, because this would be a perfect finishing position for me. But I think there'll be some speed coming up from behind, so can't get too complacent. Christian back there is probably much faster than me. I can't believe we both got slowdowns. That sucked. Car just, the PCUP is so, the tires are just not there for like a lap. Whoa, that was very early braking.
Hendricks got a slowdown.
I don't know who Hendricks is. So Christian is gapping the guy behind him. He will probably catch me without too much problem, but I managed to not get a slowdown, so hey, that's a win. He doesn't have a draft, so a little early on the brakes here. Hit my lines. That's the line through Lacombe. Yeah, tires are so much better after a lap. I overcooked that entry. Key is to not panic. I could have spun the car by slamming on the brakes and trying to turn. But I don't want to lose these guys. There we can see the car starts to be better. The setup is fine once the tires are warm. It still airs a little bit towards understeer, but I'm okay with that. Get back. Dang. Spets is in P2.
Good stuff. Quickest time, 2 minutes 22.
So when Christian catches me, I will let him go. Anthony is holding up Tim up there a little bit. Oh, I'm not happy with my line. Sloppy. Sloppy in Eau Rouge. The best thing for me will be to let Christian go in a spot where I can draft him. At least momentarily until he drops me. But I'm not gonna just give it to him, so he better catch me. You always have to have your eyes up when you're looking down into that chicane, because that's where chaos happens. If you can see it ahead enough, you can typically capitalize.
Improving. Another quickest time, 2 minutes 22.05.
So these guys battling is good for me. Anthony's doing a nice job there of kind of keeping Tim at bay. Much better line through Eau Rouge. What a good sport. kudos to you, sir. This is the behavior we need in more officials. Guy behind you is clearly faster. Don't sit there and just block him all day long and basically invite him to dive bomb you and wreck you. Just let him go. You're in a position to gain a lot of I rating. Driving a nice race. Don't mess that up. He's going to gain 62 rating where he's at right now, which is pretty darn good. Maybe a little less if I can catch him. We'll see. The car is a lot more neutral now. So, what I like about it is you can use the throttle a little bit to get the car to rotate just a smidge. It's not much, so you're not really at risk, I feel like, of spinning, but like it used to be in this car. But the setup's really, you can play with it a little bit. You can see where the drivers that are higher rated are better. It's really on those threshold braking situations.
2 minutes 22.552.
Christian is just much more comfortable here. Braking later into the final chicane and the source. Tim get a slow down? He did, and he managed to clear it before I could get to him. Alright, so I don't want Christian.
Left side behind. Stay there. Keep there. Clear.
So you see there Christian pushing so hard to get by me when it's like,
you're moving down to P10 currently.
all you needed to do was just be a little bit more patient, and I would have given it to him much easier than that. But I'm not going to give it to you the instant you catch me. Like, you got to catch me and show you can hang, and then I'm going to give it to you. Because I don't want you to do what you nearly did, kill me. What we get to watch now is to see if he will be equally patient, or impatient, I should say, with the cars ahead. And if so, will he take a bunch of people out on accident? Yeah, I'm not saying he's a bad driver or he's reckless or anything, I'm just saying he was very aggressive there where I clearly had to back out because Tim had the slowdown. You can do that, you can try to capitalize on that, but he made it very risky there. Shoot.
Moving down to P11 now.
I don't know what that was.
Car behind set its session best. 2 minutes 22.7.
I think I probably didn't downshift fast enough. This will be a little sloppy. That's a disappointment. But it's okay. It just did not. I just had no brakes. Nah, now I need to put down some laps because I do not want to lose any more positions. I've been generous enough, dropping 2 spots now. 2 mistakes, a lock up and a slowdown.
Last sector quickest.
Looks like I'm faster than Theo, so we'll see though. If he's got a draft, he can close that gap. That was the line I could have taken that totally flat. Yeah, I think I was lazy the last lap on my downshifts, and that put too much braking strain on the fronts.
4 laps still.
He's got a draft right now.
Sector was quickest.
I think if I drive my line though, I don't think he's faster than me, I think. Particularly in these more technical sections. Turned out too early. Okay, he made a mistake, that's good. I did too, but yeah, it's just one of the things this Cup car will do is you'll hit the brakes and even on initial application, if it's just a little bit too hard, it locks up.
Last was at 2 minutes 22.1.
And then the tires are too hot and you can't get the grip back. And I tried to let off a little bit, get them back under control, but I just couldn't. Just try to be a little cheeky here and stay out of a draft. Oh yeah, he's way off. Okay. So you know he's pushing, he's trying, but he's letting me off the hook a little bit. I could confidently stop paying attention to my mirror and just zero in. If I just drive that sort of low 22, high 21 pace, I just don't think he's got enough to catch me. Two laps to go after this. Laps to go. Just focus in.
Track temp is at 1.7 degrees in the last 10 minutes. Sector was a new best. White flag. Previous sector optimal.
That's a good lap.
Improving. Best lap, 2 minutes 21.84.
That wasn't great, but he was squirrely on exit 2. He's pushing. That's probably all I needed him to do. Oh, crash. I gotta watch the re-entry.
Flag clear.
You are a piece of crap. Come on, man.
Slow down. Interval ahead 3.04. Well done. We are in P9 currently.
I don't know who that was, but come on. Looked like they were trying to hit each other like retaliation, and then you just come back on track and take out somebody who had nothing to do with it. I don't know how I'm alive. I mean, that was a pretty solid hit.
We are moving down in P11 now.
I don't know why Dre thinks I'm in P11. I just got to P9. Couple of free spots. At least sort of free.
Let's hope next race gets better. That's P11. That was intense, Derek. Okay, point P9. You end with 1.86 liters in the fuel tank.
Okay, so let's see this. Okay, so Tommy and Anthony. Okay, so it's Anthony who decides to just literally block the track. Like, there's two cars coming and you choose to just put your car perpendicular across the racing surface and drive straight into me. Unbelievable. I don't know how I lived. I mean, he just glancing blowed me. If I had... Oh, that's just ridiculous. Okay, but let's just see. Maybe there's a reason for this. So there's something happening further up. So Paolo... Ooh. Oh, Tommy kind of does a little juke. And then they're just not giving each other any room. They kill each other. I mean, when you're a 4,000 iRating driver, you should know better than this. I mean, I'm not saying that Tommy's at fault here, because it looks like Paolo kind of jukes him. I mean, it's a racing incident to me. You could argue Tommy hit him, you could argue Paolo hit him, I don't know, but they're too close. Like, what are you doing? Loses it, does a good job holding his brakes, he's off here. Mark and Tim are like, thank you very much. Tommy's re-entry is okay because he... but then the 3D curb got him. And then that sucks, it hit Lamar, so... Or Lammer, sorry, Anthony. So in that sense, it's bad luck for Anthony. Anthony didn't deserve this, he just sort of got caught out, and I don't think Tommy is... I mean, he's at fault, but it's easy to do. He got on the curb and his tires are probably all lit up anyway, so it is what it is. But this part here is a no-no. You cannot do this. This is... You should not be nearly 3,000 iRating and be doing this. It sucks, but you have to literally sit here and wait for an opening. Or you gotta know how to drop your clutch and spin the car so that you can enter safely, because this is ridiculous. You cannot do that. But cool, we'll take it. Spets wins with a 1.7 second gap. Let's take a look at 220.1 in race. Gotta fix my camera a little bit here. I don't know what course he's flat. On the curb. Over the curb there, interesting. On the curb there. All the way to exit. I mean, just perfect lines everywhere. Diamonds. Watch him use all the exit. Just smooth, controlled, but always on the edge. All the way out there. This is where I feel like I'm not fast. Yeah, up on it, all the way to the edge. And I think he gets the benefit of a little bit of a draft here. That's... But he doesn't. 220.27. So. Really nicely done. Let's see where the pass is, because I bet it was exciting. I mean, kudos to Chen. I mean, really nice driving, and I just can't imagine what it's like to have Alexander Spets behind you when it's a drafty track like Spa. Smart. See? Okay. This is smart. Right. Look how much room Spets gives. He doesn't come 2 inches off the side of Chen. He gives him half a car. Which means that if Chen does anything weird, or Spets does anything weird, or whatever, you're not going to kill each other. And Chen wisely just says, yeah, let him go. He had the draft. He's probably faster than me. What is the point in racing him, right? You take P2. So, lessons learned. Alright, well that's it for now. I have to actually start working at some point.